Hi. My name is Addie Gorlin, and I'd like to start with a very important question. Can anyone here touch the tip of their tongue to their nose, like so? I'm really asking. Awesome. And I asked that for a relevant reason. I asked that because in medicine, the ability to do that is called the Gorlin sign, because of the medical discoveries of my grandfather, a titan. He was a titan, as you can see, in the field of genetics. That is Wikipedia. My parents followed suit. They too are in medicine. And in August, I am marrying a soon-to-be doctor as well. All to say, I have been surrounded by the medical field my entire life. I, on the other hand, grew up and found my calling doing children's theater. That's me on the right. In 10 Tall Soldiers, I was a soldier. And on the right, hooray for Diff and Doofer Day, I was a Flubertown geek. And while I drew a lot of self-confidence from performing professionally at such a young age, you can imagine that given my family context, the expectation to find a stable, lucrative, quantitative career path has always been strong. So when I graduated, I got a teaching credential. And then when I came to terms with the fact that my heart was really in theater, this is a slide of my English classroom where we were doing puppetry. I justified my career choice by making a lot of heady, serious plays for adults. And I don't think I'm alone in this. As I have crested the hill into my 30s, I've come to realize how many of us, out of a desire to be taken seriously, seek to distance our work from anything that could be perceived as children's theater or playing pretend for a living. Yet, isn't imaginative play at the very heart of what we do? Thus, my rallying cry. I propose we blur the boundary between children's and adult theater and produce more work aimed at all ages audiences. Why should we consider all ages programming as part of the mainstream? All ages theater makes content clear and accessible. If you are aiming, especially as a director, to create a piece of theater for all ages, clarity will inform your process, preventing your productions from becoming heady, elitist, and inaccessible. I am not saying dumb it down. I can tell you as a middle school teacher that young people are smart. It is time that we level with them. I tested this hypothesis with my thesis, A Good Person of Szechuan by Bertolt Brecht. And 7-year-olds came away asking their parents about capitalism. Which proves that it is also effective in getting people to be receptive to weighty themes. My parents attended the Lorax at the Children's Theater of Minnesota by themselves. They expressed to me later on how much more willing they were to think critically about their environmental impact than when they saw a serious esoteric production about the global water crisis a week earlier. And they were receptive because, no surprise, it's fun. According to a triple play report conducted by Wolf Brown, which surveyed about 7,000 theater goers from across the country, for both frequent and infrequent theater goers, relaxing and having fun is the most highly rated objective among audience attendants. Let me say that again. For both frequent and infrequent theater goers, relaxing and having fun is the most highly rated objective. And part of what makes all ages theater enjoyable is that it maximizes opportunity for imagination. We are in the business of make-believe. We have the opportunity to embrace live theatricality in a way that sets us apart from film. So take those working microwaves and put that shit on TV. Let us stop spoon-feeding our audiences heavy doses of linear narrative realism. And none of this has to be at the expense of the bottom line, because all ages theater brings in money. Why does Christmas Carol sell out every year? Yes, it's a tradition, and yes, it's a familiar stories. But it's also because you can bring the whole family. I spoke with the head of marketing department at the Arden in Philadelphia. Guess what their highest, second highest, and third highest grossing productions in the history of the Arden are? Their family series productions, which is not only terrific for the financial health in the short term, but also for their fiscal future, because family series shows end up helping to develop the next generation of theatergoers. An NEA study found that adults who attended theater as children are 3 or 4 times as likely to attend as adults. Again, that adults who attended theater as children are 3 or 4 times as likely to attend as adults. And opening this gateway, therefore, not only benefits the future of our field, but works as an act of inclusivity, an element that is often overlooked when talking about barriers to audience attendance. All ages theater removes this important barrier. Mixed blood theater is an artistic home for me in Minneapolis. Prior to graduate school at Brown, I was there as the National New Play Network producer in residence, and part of my job was working on audience cultivation, which actually sounds kind of easy when you're at a place like Mixed Blood with its radical hospitality program where you can give away half of your tickets every single night for free. Except when I went door to door inviting people, the #1 question I received was, "Can we bring our kids?" "Oh, sorry, not to this one," I'd reply. Which makes sense, because babysitters are expensive. And when you get a night off, some people don't want to spend it away from their kids. So let's make more theater where we can invite them. What are some examples? Arden cited Peter Pan as the most successful show in their history. I'm a big advocate for Matilda being done at regional theaters right now. Brooklyn Bridge is being done lots of places. Naomi Izuka's Last Firefly. But ask me or email me. I have a running list that I am more than happy to share. There's also a lot of exciting playwrights right now writing shows that could be deemed as all ages, and many shows are small in scale and easily producible. Children's Theater of Minneapolis, where I grew up, has also been commissioning and publishing these works for decades through their Plays for Young Audiences licensing program. I encourage you to check it out. It is time to own up, acknowledge, and embrace the fact that we are professionally engaged in the childhood act of play pretend. And while play pretend, like the ability to touch one's tongue to one's nose, may at first appear foolish, its impact, as we all know, can be profound. Thank you.